Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:50 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym this morning. And I got some advice not to run for a week or two because I had did something to my ankle where I've been icing it for the past week and taking anti-inflammatories to keep the swelling down and whatever I could do. I have it currently. I have it wrapped with a an ankle support on, and all in the simply so that I can eventually use it again soon without hurting it or injuring it. And that I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy that I have to pull back on something that I'm loving to do in order to get healed or be restored. And I think that that emulates a lot of other aspects of life. We don't like to pull back to let something heal. We get out of a bad relationship, and because the pain is so big, we automatically want to jump back into another one. So the pain of not being able to run this morning, uh, it's not the best feeling. And the pain of getting out of a relationship and saying, well, I want to cover up this pain by doing something else, maybe getting back into another relationship without giving yourself enough time to pull back and heal. It's not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. Matter of fact, I even have a sense of loss. I do. I have a sense of, what do I do? I have a regimented routine that I go through. What do I do? Right? Once I get into the gym, what do I do? How do I warm up? What if I don't run? Will I lose it? Will my enthusiasm go away? Or did I set myself up? Did I hurt myself so that I didn't have to run? You see some of the things that the mind might play on you, some of the games that the mind starts to race through. Then I start thinking about situations with my clients, how that's falling through, or how that's not going as according to plan, and how I got to make all these phone calls later in the afternoon and be here, be there. Right? It's all up here. And the moment you start to calm those thoughts down, say, it'll be okay. You'll be all right. It's best that you restore your body. It's best that you restore your mind rather than pandering to it to comfort it by simply throwing something else at it. You're always trying to stay distracted. You're always trying to throw something else at it instead of just dealing with it. See, so now I'm talking to myself. Because sometimes you have to deal with it, because dealing with it opens up another perspective of simply saying, shit happens. Now what are you going to do? So I can stand this slumped mental way of thinking and run through all these different scenarios of what ifs, and then add external situations like my business to create even more chaos inside of my mind. Or I could just say, hey, shit happens. My ankle is what it is. You gotta let it rest. If you want it to go back to 100%. I remember when I injured my arm. I remember one morning I woke up and it was a tennis ball sized lump on it. Yeah, it's kind of like, dude, do you want to have this injury forever? Do you want to have this forever? Relax. Take it easy. Now, had I not had the state of mind or the consciousness to think about that, hold on, I've been in the situation where something has went wrong with my workout. And there was two aspects of that. One, I kept going and created more injury. Second part was I stopped. I started rehabbing it, working on it, strengthening it, and it healed. And I went back to work. I ended the pain by simply saying that it was necessary. I mean, the fact of the matter is we don't like what's uncomfortable. And we don't like giving up our routines. But once you put everything in its proper perspective, what options do you really have when it all comes down to it? So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find my alternative. And I'll do like I do through most things. I'll work through it. But I'm not going to compound it. I'm not going to say, oh my God, my ankle's not where it needs to be, so I can't run. So, oh my God, what about the problems for my business? Oh, what about my family? I'm not going to allow all these other thoughts to start intervening and intruding in on an isolated situation. And that's what the mind wants to do. It wants to invade. It wants to say, hey, I've exposed the weakness in him. I've exposed the weakness in him, folks. Let's attack. Let's attack. You got to be stronger than that. You got to recognize that sometimes the point where you might feel weak is just a point where you need to strengthen and pull back. Because if you try to go in, then the mind will open up and a bunch of other floods of thoughts and feelings will come in there. And it will treat it as an entry point of weakness. The difference between the person who wins a war and the person who loses a war simply has to do with what's the point of weakness that we can penetrate their camp. Something is constantly trying to penetrate you, to invade, to win the war of your mind, of your body. You have to be strong enough to pull back and recognize that sometimes it's better to heal than it is to work through the pain. That's perspective. And you only get that by being obedient to what you know you should do.